Asian Power recently caught up with Brano Kollar of Aggreko to talk about its operations in the Asian power market.
This is indeed true. But it's not only about the developing economies, it's also about economies which are developed. If you look at an example in the developing economies, the major challenge the infrastructure is facing is with coping with the increasing demand or the fast economic growth in the companies. To sustain this growth, there is a challenge which is more for the infrastructure to make sure that there is adequate power supply both for the industrial users as well as the domestic users. If you have a GDP growth of 6% per annum, the infrastructure growth, the demand growth is much higher than the GDP growth. And we see in a lot of the emerging economies, developing economies, that to sustain the infrastructure development is challenging due to the capital required, the time to construct the power plants. So in many countries we see these trends ongoing, and this is where we can help the governments, the utilities and the industrial players to overcome an interim power shortage they might have. If you look at the developed economies, 2 decades ago, even before the World War II, all the infrastructure which was put in place at the time is now aging. So another challenge is the aging infrastructure utilities will face. So again, there will be a time when they need to either overhaul or repair or discontinue the services of these power stations, and this is where we can help to bridge the gap in the supply. So it applies to both the emerging economies or developing economies as well as the developed economies. The complexity lies in every stage, but it's really driven on a project-by-project basis. So it depends the complexity of the project, the customer requirements. But what is our strength is our global footprint, our expertise, which we have built up over 50 years, where we have invested in our capability in terms of people as well as the technology we use. So we are ready, to give you an example, let's say in Japan, after the earthquake, and my heart goes with the people, they needed a fast response in terms of power. Nuclear power was shut down and they were in big shortage. So it took quite a bit of a logistical challenge to bring all the fleet from various parts of the world, bring it into Japan, install it in no time. We basically put on a 100 megawatt power plant within 8 weeks from the contract signature. So this is we can leverage on our global expertise and our technology, which is based on a modular equipment, and we can install power stations in no time when it would take years to construct a big power station. So this is the strength where we can leverage on our global strengths and experience we have. If you put into context, that we have also executed the Beijing Olympic Games, that created so much awareness among the even domestic users, the industrial players, because people need to understand what we can bring, how it really works, what are the benefits. So, Beijing Olympics was a big showcase for us, and it helped us enormously. First of all, to raise the awareness across the Asian market, so people understand that power is needed, is essential. And during the media broadcast, let's say Beijing Olympics, all the broadcasting agencies are relying on temporary power. The utility, yes, it's 50-50. So we play a very important part. Now, to create the awareness and understanding, across the market, helped us through the Beijing Olympics to leverage on this experience, leverage on the project, and basically educate more the market how we benefit to the society and to the industries and so on. So when then you go back to London Olympics, again there is the credibility which we are building, not only among the people but also in the IOC, the committees. They see our name everywhere. We powered the Vancouver Olympics, FIFA World Cup in South Africa, and many other golfing tournaments, tennis tournaments, festivals. All this, which is media, which is events, which is fun for people, but they can now correlate and understand that temporary power is not just a generator sitting in a corner, but it really brings value, and it also helps the events to have a smooth game, event, and they can be absolutely relaxed that there is the light on and it will never be switched off, as you see by the switch. Yeah. Before I go into the benefits, it's really important to understand that we are a contributor to the socio-economic growth in an economy, where people have used candlelight to cook, to read books. We help the government with their electrification plans to electrify, to provide power in the critical areas of the country. So we see ourselves as a contributor. And in terms of benefits, there are numerous benefits, but the most important are that, first of all, instead of spending capital on a big power plant which takes a number of years to construct, which is still essential, but if you have an immediate need, the only choice you have is rental. So there is no capital expenditure required by our customers for the plant. Secondly, it's very quick. We can install multi-megawatt power plants in a couple of weeks, couple of months. So this is another key benefit, that there is really a short time for delivery. Another is very flexible solution. If you want to synchronize the plant with the grid and support baseload power, that's possible. If you want to run the plant in island mode, so there is a variable load curve for the plant depending on the demand, again, it's possible. If you want to have multi-voltage applications, so if you want a 20 kV plant or 132 kV plant, we can provide it turnkey. So it's not just we provide an equipment or the capex, but we basically provide turnkey, fast-track solutions for our customers. Another big, benefit is we decrease the risk to the utility companies, for example, or even to the industrial consumers, because we have a reliable power source which is operated 24/7 by our experienced staff on a global level. So the experience, the expertise, the flexibility, the modular equipment, which is easy to transport, all these are very, very key benefits to our customers, and they recognize it. Yeah.